Sabine. Godwoken. Dallas told me about you. Your divine...
The divine youth.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at...
I underestimated.
Respect?
Lucian's gaze rests upon...
Lucian, we should tell the...
Yes, I...
Dallas nods. A skull is...
I am.
Aren't they just...
Fear not.
I shall tell you long ago.
Of course.
Silent, our king for...
With the source this...
During that...
Our
The seven.
The seven, when we are done, there shall be no more source in the world.
He hesitates.
Here, my one mistake.
My people cannot be allowed.
There is...
I was a child. It was hell. The cruel joke of my father. But now I finally...
The hammer's voice falters at a cool...
He never even looked...
Dallas, control yourself.
Yes.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace.
She sacrificed. She didn't do it. And then I took her place.
While Dallas...
Slurp.
One more word from you and...
I had to hide. As divine, I was...
Maggot.
With a flick of her wrist,
Don't worry.
Dallas punctuates her statement with another wrist.
Yes, to strengthen.
The Voidwalk, you see.
The Eterran now...
The Void... A false divine, of course.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many...
Decide.
There is no other way. We only lack yours.
As I say. Good.
The world...
We already...
Another sacrifice. I was forced. Alexander...
The task fell...
And me.
Then let us proceed. Show some response...
You'll be a hero.
Don't let them do this to us.
I understand. Your sacrifice.
I'm sorry.
Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravitate.
My time is done. But you... Your source burns.
Dallas groans in pain.
I have failed.
This is it.
She casts her gaze.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. I know you'll do it with style.
Her eyes flash and sparkle with tears. She quickly wipes them away and feigns kick.
Back at you, Chief. Always. Now go on, shoot. You've got business to attend to.
You think back on your journey here. You think of the Magisters. And you think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen work. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity, you think of what you could do with... You marvel at your journey and how... It's time to choose your... Shall you be divine? After all that you have been through, and all to sacrifice, what you do next decides your... What shall you do with divinity?
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. Dallas the Hammer, the secret Eternal, purged the Godwoken and used the Source to close the veil to the void. The world was saved. Statues in memory of the Godwoken who sacrificed their Source were erected all across Rivellon. They would never be forgotten. The half-demon Malady took pity on the soulless Godwoken silent monks and brought them to the Hall of Echoes. There, from the scraps of their souls that remained, she restored them to life. Sorcerers no more, they lived out the rest of their lives, freed of the burden of being the Godwoken. Freed from the weight of the world. As for me, I was already free. And so were the others. The Godwoken sacrifice severed the bond between the Sworn and the God King. To atone for my sins, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly, telling the story of the Godwoken, that the world may never forget the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever known.
Well, look what the cat trap did. To be fair, you are barely more powerful than one.
Without source to shield it, the barriers between Nemesis and Rivellon weaken.
Beast spirit doesn't acknowledge you.
Hear the word the cupboard can't hate you.
He pauses, then continues.
Are you okay? You don't.
No more source, no more powers. Reform my ways.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles, her mouth meets yours, and devours you with predatory abandon.
Something to remember me by, darling. Who knows? But a girl needs some.
I always thought that those who resorted to self-sacrifice were lacking in imagination. A world without source is one that will need I believe I shall enjoy this. That is the quest. No, of course you wouldn't. I intend to seek them out.
The squirrel smiles. The purging that once silenced you remains on your mind as you approach Gareth.
Amazing, I'm still here. I find a way to fit, and so I find out.
You are a very, very, very lucky person. If Malady hadn't restored us, I'd be a drooling monstrosity, but a vengeful one. The realm is a lot more it's probably survived much more than we'll ever even know. I don't know if anyone's free of any, but I'm bloody thrilled to be here now. Just me, myself, and you, of course. Get loot, play loot, get loot, get glad. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right? Well, I mean, you can always come with me. I mean, I'm just saying, it's an option. If you want, maybe? I still love you.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
I suppose it's time for... I suppose it's time...
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask.
Ah, there you are. More than a silent monstrosity, less... Where did I go wrong? Ugh. I'd been counting on sacrificing my health and happiness. Never mind.
She fingers the mask, covering her face.
We've come a long way together. I did my best.
She looks you up.
I guess this will take a moment, why don't you? Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Perhaps our paths will... until we find out. If you'll excuse me, darling.
The flaming hatchling bounces and... It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills contentedly and flaps its tiny feathers in recognition of its proud parent. It seems you've got a new mouth to feed.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. Consider me to be a gift from Malady. I feel better than you. I will always be an ally to those that carry... I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. At last, the world was at peace. The ancient Lizard Empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the Empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. Justinia returns to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven kingdom prospered, until 2 years later, a jealous lover stabbed her in the heart with a mutton fork. Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoute of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The Black Pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a center of industry, trade, and transport. Lohar became mayor, and Brayton Barnes grew rich until, after a public argument over import duties, Barnes died in an accident, buried under several tons of fish, and also stabbed in the back with a gutting knife. Your lizard lover finally returned to the ancient Lizard Empire, there to found the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found it, although once or twice she came close. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with peace, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. Almira and Mihaly settled down on the farm. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. She presumed she had them in thrall. The truth was, they just liked her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the Wizard became one of Lucian's most trusted advisors once more. He always knew that something had changed in the divine. He never discovered what that was, or, if he did, he never said a word. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. She founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering the last of the undead shelter from fortune hunters, novelty seekers, and ghouls. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. With Lucian in power, Sahala took the elves away from the world. They grew strong once more amidst the trees of the regrown home forest. Some say her plans for revenge will bring about the end of days. Some say only Tova, her mother, holds her back. Lucian returned as divine, united the races, and became Lord Emperor of all Rivellon. Only Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucian and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars. Lohse returned to her music, and enjoyed a storied career as Rivellon's premier musician. Dark moods would at times overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You returned to the world as one more elf among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility, or did you rebel? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
is long. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Come to me, the night is dark. Come to me, the night is long. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Sway with me, we'll make them scream. Dance with me, we'll make them bleed. Sing for me,